Okay, good morning everybody. Good morning everybody. My name is Garasino. I'm the Director of Activities at Garasino School. I feel more comfortable if I move, so you don't see how nervous I am. I can move around, I can move my hands. What I'm going to try to explain is how to do a pitch. I mean, what is it, and how to use effectively your communication abilities and how to develop them. Most people, when they I have to do a pitch in front of public, I have to do a pitch, an interview. Most of the people, 90% of them, the first thing they think is, shit, I'm in trouble. 10% of people have the skills and they love to speak in public. I have to tell you, I don't love to speak in public, but I've been working for more than 20 years in the audiovisual industry. First as a production runner, production supervisors, executive producer, head of development, and I've heard thousands of pitches, and I've done hundreds of pitches. And I think that qualifies me a little bit to say what makes a good pitch. Everybody can make a good pitch. It's an ability. You can develop, you can nurture, you can coordinate, and you can control. Some people, especially the people from the southern of the Mediterranean, Italians, Spaniards, we tend to talk too much. People from the north of Europe tend to talk too little and not to engage. So you have to think a little bit, what is your possibilities? But it's like driving. You have to learn how to do it, and you develop it, and you can be a sport racer, or you can just go shopping with your car and not bump into anything and deliver your message. What I'm trying to give you is some tips on how to effectively communicate and give your message. I'm not going to be very long on the content of the pitch because I think Antonio covered that very well. What I'm going to give you is more an amount of tips that you have to use. To start a pitch, you need a previous work. You need a series of assumptions. That you have a good project, that you have communication skills, negotiation skills, that you can present yourself and your project. A friend of mine used to say that it's only one chance of making a very good first impression. The moment you enter the room, the moment you get to the stage, you are presenting yourself. The way you look, the way you dress, you show respect for the other person. If you show to underdressed, not shaved, with your clothes wrinkled, you are showing that you don't care very much what you think about you. And that's a bad point for the very beginning. And in the first 30 seconds that count, the first impression you are going to give to the people you want to convince that you have a very good project, a very good game, a very good picture, or whatever you want to sell them. Because pitching is about selling. Selling yourself, selling your project, and selling your company. Obviously, you need a preparation. You need to know who are you talking to. You need to master your project in order to adapt it. If you have to do a 1-minute presentation, as we were telling now, if you want to do a 7-minute presentation with the usual business pitch in industry meetings, if you have to do an elevator pitch, you might have to do your pitch in a bar in Cannes with 200 people around, and you have found this guy from Paramount or from the European Commission you want to sell your project to, and you have only 30 seconds, so you have to know what to talk about. There was a guy who came from a video game company and told us that he was so good at making pitches about the project of the company, he knew them so well, that he could do them at 5 in the morning completely drunk. And in fact, he was right. We did notice that evening.
In fact, it was luck.
Not yet, but he succeeded that night, and he did very good pitches, I have to say. Obviously, you have to trust your project. High-quality project with an international potential, and a first strategy regarding a potential partner. But what is the pitching? What is the word pitch that we use so often, being English speakers or not? It comes from the Middle Ages, when a seller came to the market and pitched their tent in the place and started to sell. To sell fish, to sell swords, to sell grain, to sell whatever. So you are, in fact, selling yourself. For a lot of creative people I work with, the idea of selling themselves or selling a product, they feel uncomfortable with it. But I'm afraid that's how the industry works. You have to sell yourself. How else are you going to convince somebody to give you 200,000 euros, 500,000, 1 million, 2 million euros? It's a lot of money. I mean, I could live the rest of my life with 4 million. Yeah, even with a little less. So why people is going to give you that money? Because they believe that your project is going to have return on their investments, that it's going to be rentable, profitable for them. Pitching I like these kind of things because they stick into the memories. It's the 3 P's of pitching. Personality. You have to show your personality. You have to show who you are. You have to show you're able to complete the task they are going to give you. But you have to work on your personality skills. You have to be able to control your personality. Not to be too cocky, not to be too self-confident, but to be a reliable person. You can bullshit. Pitching is also about bullshitting, but not too much. You're pitching to intelligent people who know the business, who probably know more than you. So you have to be self-confident, but not overdo it. Then it's about passion. If you're not passionate about your project, you're not going to make other people to be passionate and give you money to do it, or give you advice, or give you contacts, or give you partnership. If you don't show that passion the moment you're pitching, if you don't make eye contact with them, if you don't smile when you're showing it, if you don't show that you care about your own project, even if it's not your own project, you might be working with some other people's project. You might be a gun for hire, as they say in the cinema, and you are contracted to sell this project in a market, in a meeting, in an event, but you have to make it your own. You have to really, really, really convince the people that you're passionate about it. And persuasion. The iron fist in the velvet glove. You have to convince that people that your project is good, that you're reliable, that you're able to put it together in a very gentle way. They don't have to be bullied. They don't have to be pushed. They have to be convinced of what you're doing. A typical 7-minute pitch is a structure. What do you want to do? A value proposition. You present your team and company. You present the business model. You make an offer. And the most important thing, you start a dialogue. Never leave the room without engaging the people to continue talking with you. If it's an individual presentation, there's a horrible thing that most people that are pitched to say, who say, okay, I like your project, I'll give you a call. No, never accept that. You have to own the situation. You have to say, okay, yeah, but I know you're very busy. Why not, instead of giving me a call, I call you in, let's say, 2 weeks' time? So you control the situation. You know that it's going to be a following for the project, and don't let them escape. Never say, I send you an email. Email is very useful for a lot of things, but it's also the best way for saying no, very politely. You receive an email, did you like my project? And then the guys set up, they have a digital template, and they put, I like very much your project, but due to the financial crisis, we are not able to blah, 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 and then you're dead. you came to a dead-end street. What is a pitch? It's storytelling. You're telling the story of your project. What is it about? It's transmitting crucial information. Be careful with this. Don't get too much information. You have to prepare it. It's risk-taking. You show why your heart is in the project, and you have to take risks for that. It's painting pictures. If you have visual elements, like pictures, like props, like examples, even if the project is in the very, very, very beginning, if you can have a picture that shows the kind of universe, the experience the gamer will have with that project, please show them. Be careful with that, because you have to calculate very well two things: the time you have and the place you are. In a place like this, you are talking with a PowerPoint, okay, it's fine, you might have some pictures. If you are doing a one-to-one presentation and you want to show a PowerPoint, that can be a disaster. Because you have to think, you have to sit there, open your computer, find your file, open your file, and if you don't do it very, very smoothly, the other guy will say, okay, this guy can open his own file, how can he manage a project? So be careful with that kind of things, but it's true that it acquires 90% of the people remember a visual thing more than a thing it's being told to them over and over. And it's an opening for the next meeting. When you do a pitch, normally it's the first presentation. What you have to think is you are climbing a ladder. Each meeting is another step to the final objective, which is to have your project made. You have to get not the final approval, you have to get the next meeting. You're getting an appointment to meet, for example, the boss of the person you're talking with. You have to give him the materials for him to defend your case against the boss, and they give you another meeting in the next stage, or you're going to have a partner, and then you need another meeting to consolidate that partnership from the legal point of view, the financial point of view. So it's a series of small steps till you reach your goal. Preparation. Fail to prepare, prepare to fail. If you don't go with your numbers correct, if you don't go with your project well in hand, you're going to start babbling around, you're going to lose information, you're going to get lost in the details, and that is going to be a real problem. You have to do a synthesis and say, why do they have to choose you? What is your unique selling point? What is it that makes your project special for them? We live in a very competitive market, in a very competitive environment. We are all aware that cash and investment is very scarce. I'm giving